Taking a look at the oil gushing out in the Gulf of Mexico. They're saying more than 10,000 gallons a day coming out of there right now. Turning to our eye on politics, will the Obama administration pay politically for the oil spill disaster? Also, in politics is Andrew Cuomo, a shoo-in for governor. And what will the furlough defeat mean for the New York State budget? Joining us this morning is New York Daily News political columnist Errol Louis. Great to see you, Errol.
Yes, you too.
You know, we keep looking at those pictures of the oil spill. What a mess, what a disaster. What happens from here, especially, you know, when we look politically at this?
Well, the Obama administration has taken responsibility, but it's not like they could have avoided it anyway. When you're president, everything that happens is sort of subject to your review. The reality is we're all finding out about the MMS, this Mining and Mineral Service, that was horribly mismanaged. They already sacked the leadership of that agency. They've talked about a reorganization. There are going to be hearings. There's going to be blame. But the bottom line is there are billions of dollars of damage have been done economically, more than British Petroleum is probably going to pay. The taxpayer is going to have to eat the rest of it, and there's going to be a lot of bitter feeling for a long, long time.
BP has controlled this since it started. You know, the critics are saying, when is the government going to go in and take over?
Yeah, well, you know, in his news conference, the president said something that was really startling, which is that it is the BP that has the superior technology. So if the government steps in, it'll still have to turn around and ask the private sector, whether it's BP or some other corporation, to use their expertise, their knowledge of drilling, their materials and their methods to try and cap this thing.
And critics are asking the question, will this be Obama's Katrina?
Yeah, you know, that's, I think, a strange kind of a question. You know, in some ways, I guess if you look at it at the most surface level, maybe because it's the same region, you could see some analogies. But the reality is, after the first 11 people were killed at the moment of the explosion, there's been no loss of life due to government negligence, which is what the whole thing was about 5 years ago.
But an environmental
in the Katrina.
Disaster, certainly.
An environmental disaster, for sure.
And an economic disaster. When it
economic disaster that'll go on for at least a generation.
All right, we're going to get to New York State now. Let's talk about Andrew Cuomo. You know, some people are saying, boy, he might not be able to lose this one.
Oh, well, you know, let's not put it past the Democrats to figure out a way to do exactly that. There actually are some scenarios if you tease it out. The Attorney General is saying he's not necessarily going to take the Working Families Party line, which in turn would lead the Working Families Party to put up their own candidate. That could end up in a three-way general election race. And there are lots of different scenarios that you could play out. But no, he's riding high. He gave a great speech at the convention. People are charged up. The opinion polls still hold that Andrew Cuomo is the most popular politician in the state. So, yeah, it is his to lose.
But we still have some time before the election. So
oh, sure, yeah. No, look, there are a lot of issues that are out there. I mean, he has put himself into the middle of a very contentious budget negotiation, and we don't know what kind of effect that could have.
Speaking of the budget negotiation, Judge threw out the furloughs. So what will happen to the budget, and how will that affect workers?
Well, we're still at $9.2 billion in the hole on a $132 billion budget. The workers will get their raises as were negotiated. We're going to have to just find savings somewhere else. I mean, the governor has a $250 million savings through give-backs or negotiations with unions, but those negotiations haven't taken place. So we're in the hole. We're going to go, I would predict, well into July before we get any resolution of this.
All right, Errol Louis, great to see you. Thanks so much for being here with us. And for more on these and all things politics, you can head over to our website, WCBSTV.com, and click on Politics and Power.